me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue. I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall, and if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to Open Mic America. I hope you're ready for a couple of hours of amazing music presented to you by musicians from all over the United States. We have myself, my name is Laura P.L. Bordowitz. I will be your MC for tonight. We've got Daphne Ramil, who's going to be our interviewer. And as always, our amazing founder of the show, Capo Dave Williams, who is also acting as our engineer for tonight, handling all of the technical behind the scenes magic. And we are just so excited to have everybody here. Our mission at Open Mic America is to support your local open mics, where you can go in person to see the songwriters performing their own original music in your local area. But tonight, thanks to technology, we get to travel all around the country and see those same performers in their own homes. Without gimmicks or frills, this right here is the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of story and song that has been weaving us together for generations. I'm going to introduce all of our performers. We have 7 different states represented tonight. We've got Andy Karn from Mountain View, California, the Hewitt Family Band from Brookhaven, Missouri, Rigo Rodriguez from Amherst, Massachusetts, Tom Cooney from Pennsburg, Pennsylvania, Gillis Mills from Grafton, Vermont, the Elder Stinger from Alameda, California, Cowboy Bob Uvello from Boston, Massachusetts, and Ric Page from Haverhill, Massachusetts. I know that everybody who is watching on YouTube out there in the world is ready to get started with the music, so I think we're going to go ahead and let our first performer, Andy Karn, take it away.
Thanks, Laura. I'm going to do a song of mine that I wrote several years ago, and I was just playing this with a bunch of friends yesterday. So it's called Charlie Steps Aside. Two singing brothers on the road, getting by with everything. They often don't see eye to eye, till it's time for them to sing. Then Charlie steps aside, lets Ira in to harmonize. Voices to one another tied, cast together in the skies, to the time passed like it always does. Bridges burned and money owed, until one late spring afternoon, Ira died out on the road, and Charlie steps aside, lets Ira in to harmonize. Voices to one another tie, cast together in the skies. Now Charlie says that harmony should be a part of any song, and he still moves to share the stage. Now the harmony is gone, and Charlie steps aside, lets Ira in to harmonize. Voices to one another tie, cast together in the skies. don't really know the Christian life. And I can't say if Satan's real. The nearest God has been to me is how the music makes me feel when Charlie steps aside. Let's Ira in to harmonize, voices to one another tie, cast together in the skies. I like to think that there's a place, maybe only in my heart, where those two brothers still do sing together, never more to part. And Charlie steps aside, let's Ira in to harmonize, voices to one another tied, cast together in the sky.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That was extraordinary.
Thanks,
Wow.
Steve. All right, the next one is another kind of older song that I wrote. It's called "Pay the Devil." The wind when it blows from the airport smells like kerosene. And from the cookie factory it smells like a chocolate machine. But when it blows off the bay, it smells clean and a little like rain. I stand on the concrete and wonder if I'll see you again. Ah, but don't you know, joy, 'cause I was so close to sorrow. What burns bright tonight might be ashes tomorrow. And what you don't own, you might just have to borrow. Ain't no way to pay the devil, keep him from taking it away. If I ever don't come home from work, you won't get a call. Talk to the lawyer whose number I taped to the wall. Pack up our stuff, take the kids to Ernesto and Jane. This place won't be safe, so never come back here again. Ah, but don't you know, joy, 'cause I was so close to sorrow. What burns bright tonight might be ashes tomorrow. And what you don't own, you might just have to borrow. Ain't no way to pay the devil to keep him from taking it away. A man lives in so many places, he gets stretched kind of thin. And I feel like a ghost when I visit the places I've been. I've been away so long, I don't think I can ever go home. Stand close to me, darling, don't ever leave me alone. Ah, but don't you know, joy, 'cause I was so close to sorrow. What burns bright tonight might be ashes tomorrow. And what you don't own, you might just have to borrow. Ain't no way to pay the devil to keep him from taking it away. Ain't no way to pay the red devil, keep him from taking it away.
What you do?
Beautiful.
That was
song.
amazing, Andy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you were able to be here at Open Mic America tonight, because normally you play at the First Unitarian Church of San Jose at their open mics, right?
That's right, I do.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, that's not the only tidbit of information we're going to get from you tonight, because I'm turning you over to Daphne. Daphne, get him.
Oh, Andy, it's my
Uh-oh.
opportunity. Sick 'em, right? Sick 'em?
Yeah.
Okay. So, wow, Andy. I mean, I loved these two songs of yours and your
Thank you.
performance, but of course I've heard many other songs of yours.
Yes.
But even these two, first of all, I want to tell you that suddenly it came to me today that you kind of remind me of John Prine.
Oh, really?
I do. You do.
Well, that's a big compliment.
It it is. It is. And what reminds me of him a lot in your music is how you express things in such a concrete, everyday way. And yet the ideas that you are expressing or the philosophies are much bigger than that, and that they reach us all. So first I wanted to ask you about first I wanted to mention how I was happy you opened with your first song, because it talks about how the music connects us to each other and to our spiritual part. So what a way to open this kind of a show. But I was wondering, like, what is the source of the actual stories that you tell about actual people? I mean, I don't think you live the life that you're describing sometimes, but it feels
Good.
like right. It
Yeah.
feels like you know it intimately. So how does that work?
Well, the first song is based on Charlie and Ira Leuven, the Leuven brothers, and I heard Charlie interviewed. Ira died years ago, but Charlie died much more recently. I heard him interviewed, and he said that even after all these years, he still moves out of the way of the microphone so that Ira can join in at the microphone. It's so
Wow.
ingrained. And I thought, wow, that is a country tearjerker. And I decided to just crank out the most sappy country tearjerker I could possibly write, including the reunion in the afterlife. It's got every bell or whistle. So this is a formula song, but people I mean, those formulas work for a reason.
Right. You take something very real and maybe it's not so much a formula as it is reality, right? And you're just describing it in a very crafty, artistic
Well,
way.
yeah, the whole he misses his brother thing is very very country music, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean there's bigger issues, and clearly a big part of their life was this harmony that they developed together.
Right. Now, Are all your songs based on real people that you've heard all those stories that you tell? Like
Oh,
even the
no.
second song that you wrote, right? Did you
No,
know
but
these
if
people
well,
or?
no, that's not really based on real people, but
Mhm.
it is based on a place where I used to work, which was on the San Francisco Bay Shore, and so standing on the concrete, there would always be people around who were limo drivers waiting to go pick somebody up and just having to just sort of wait for an hour or something like that. And they would drive into our parking lot because it was right by the bay, and just kind of stand around and smoke or whatever, wait for their next task, and so it's sort of like that. Yeah, it's like how are these people's lives? What kind of problems do they have? They could have really big problems if they're undocumented aliens or something like that,
Right. So
and
you
even more
observe
so now.
people.
Yeah.
You observe people around. I'm sorry, you weren't finished. What were you going to say
No,
next?
I just said more so now than ever.
Yes. So you watch people and you pay attention and you kind of put yourself in their place.
Yeah, and I sort of imagine the larger drama of their lives.
Hmm. Well, and that's the other thing. I know all your songs, even though they have a lot of detail in terms of the story itself, and those are important details because they're the poignant details. You also do express a philosophy in all of your songs, or most of them, at least in these two, you did. So what comes first? Is it you see these people and you have a story, and then you come to a conclusion, or do you have an idea, a philosophical idea, and you go looking for something to support it?
Well, I usually have it's more of an artistic idea that I have first,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I have something that's interest. It sounds interesting to me, or it's interesting lyrics or something like that, or maybe a melody. Although I'm more of a lyrics guy, and um, and then I think, oh well, maybe I'll even write the chorus first, like the second song. I had the chorus written like 2 years before I finished the song,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good. And actually, what that chorus was based on was when you see little kids in public, like at an amusement park or something like that, and they're so happy and they just can't sustain it. And
Right.
so joy is always so close to sorrow because you're going to see them 20 minutes later. You're going to see them like bawling their eyes out because they just
Having a
can't.
meltdown, yeah.
Yeah, they can't sustain that level of happiness for very long. So that's where that came from. But then I thought, well, I need a story for this to be a real song, so I need to come up with a story.
Well, you did. Let me ask you something about your guitar. The more I hear
Sure.
you play, the better your guitar playing, the more intricate and clean your solos are getting. Do you practice hours and hours a day? And
No,
no. And
no, I
are
don't.
you inspired by any particular guitar player, or do you just hear it and figure it out? I mean,
Oh, I don't know that I could narrow it down to. I mean, Steve Anderson maybe,
that's great.
but
That's great.
no, I do. Well, okay, Mississippi John Hurt. Let's see who. There's too many of them. I mean, any good guitar player. Bill Kirchen, how about that guy on the Telecaster? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm Chuck Berry. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to imitate. I can't imitate them. They're too far ahead of me, so I can't. But I try and be inspired at least by them. Yeah,
So you listen to them a lot and you're
I
influenced, and
I
then you.
listen and I'm influenced, and I actually do play fairly many hours. I mean, for my schedule, it's a lot. I play like 3 online open mics a week, and then I play at a jam for a few hours on Saturday afternoon usually.
So
And
you're dedicated. Yeah.
that's but I'm not like sitting at home going, no, it's the third, and bending
Mhm.
my. Sometimes I do that. I do that, but
Mhm.
I've never been a good practicer.
Okay, last thing. You want to plug your show or should I do
Yeah.
it?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, on August 23rd, Andy Kern will be in Palo Alto at the Palo Alto Festival of the Arts at what time?
10:30.
At 10:30 in the morning on the Webster stage. So come see him.
The weather will be the very best exactly at 10:30.
It'll be perfect. It'll be
So
perfect.
don't want to miss that. You don't want to show up past its peak. And I will be opening for some very good musicians, including Daphne Ramil.
Oh, well, that's not the subject of our interview, Andy.
Well, it
Thank
is
you
now.
so much. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for your 2 songs and for opening for us. And I'm going to send the show back to Laura right now.
Thanks, Daphne. And thank you, Andy. That was a great way to kick off the show. I love getting to hear all the secret knowledge that everybody's got from their own playing. Because even if it feels mundane to us, it's different for every single performer. And it's so interesting to see where those inspirations come. And now we've got another group we've got a duo today, the Hewitt Family Band, hailing from Brookhaven, Missouri. We've got Charlie and Libby. Oh, no.
MS is Mississippi.
Mississippi. No one tell my high school geography teacher. No one tell them. Brookhaven, Mississippi. They're in Mississippi. They're in Mississippi. And they're also doing the Overbrook Songwriter Festival in August. So that'll be fun. But tonight we get to hear them on Open Mic America. So Charlie and Libby from Mississippi, take it away.
Thank you. This is my wife, Libby, and she plays her Q-chord auto harp over here. And people do always ask songwriters, what comes first, the words or the lyrics? Well, of course, the answer is both. Sometimes it's one way, sometimes it's another. And I'm not sure where this one came from. I've spent a lot of time in motels singing it most of the time. It's called Broke Down Motel Room in Southwest Mississippi. I'm Southwest Texas, Dallas. In a broke down motel room southwest of Dallas, where I stayed one long, lonely night. I'm trying to sort out my feelings, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out the rest of my life. Well, I'm sitting here all alone, and I'm trying to write a song. I'm hoping that it won't take me too long. And the room is dingy and dark, and I'm trying to find a spark to write a song in this motel room. And with all my old wives and girlfriends, hangovers and weekends, you think there'd be a song in there somewhere. I'll be strumming on my guitar, strumming and singing along, hoping that it'll lead me to writing the song. But it seems the more I strum, the less that I get done in this broke down motel room southwest of Dallas. So I took a little time, I went and got me a bottle of wine, hoping some fruit of the vine would clear my mind. But the bottle is almost gone, and I still don't have a song. So I'm hoping the guy next door has a little weed. He's got long hair and tattoos, I'll just have to make that do, and hope a little weed is what I need. Well, I finally got it done, and I beat that morning sun. Turned out a little weed, helped me along. And just before the break of dawn, I finished up my song. It's called a Broke Down Motel Room, southwest of Dallas. Yes, Gillis. It's called the Broke Down Motel Room, southwest of Dallas.
Nice.
Now that it changed. Okay, the next thing I co-write a lot of songs with the guy from Macomb, Mississippi. It's about 20 miles down the road, and this is going to be one that we wrote together. And we don't ever talk. We don't ever on the phone, or I've never met him live. He just sends me words, and I put tunes to them and maybe add or subtract or whatever. But this one's called Last Train to New Orleans. And I'm Louisiana born, I'm a Louisiana man. I've been away forever, but now I'm back again. Ready for some red beans and crawfish at Touffet. Just in time for Mardi Gras, les bon temps roulés. Caught the last train out of Memphis, rolling down to New Orleans. The beauty of the countryside, its kaleidoscope of greens. My face against the window, felt the coolness of the glass. I drank in the scenery as I rode back to my past. I've been 80 years around the sun, I've seen good times, I've seen bad. I've lived through the bad times, I've been busted, hurt and sad. But now I'm gonna ride it home, going back to New Orleans. I wanna see my friends on Bourbon Street where I first learned to sing. And I'm a Louisiana born, I'm a Louisiana man. I've been away forever, but now I'm back again. I'm ready for some red beans, crawfish at Touffet. Just in time for Mardi Gras, les bon temps roulés. There was a honky-tonk woman that I had left behind. She had flashing dark eyes with voodoo on her mind. She could light a candle with the wave of her hand. She could cast a spell on you, I hope she'll understand. 'Cause that girl was in my mind every minute I was gone. Her face was in my memory, no matter where I'd roam. I knew she had black magic, as I had seen the signs. I hoped that her black magic was love potion number 9. And I'm a Louisiana born, I'm a Louisiana man. I've been away forever, but now I'm back again. Ready for some red beans and crawfish at Touffet. Just in time for Mardi Gras, les bon temps roulés. And I'm a Louisiana born, I'm a Louisiana man. Been away forever, now I'm back again. Ready for some red beans, crawfish at Touffet. Just in time for Mardi Gras, les bon temps roulés. Yes, I'm just in time for Mardi Gras, les bon temps roulés. Didn't know we talk French, did you?
Yay!
Beautiful, you two. That was amazing. And now, Daphne, I think you're up. Same as before. Get them.
We are up, and I like your taste in shirts. Do you like my taste in shirts?
Look at that, look at
Yeah,
that.
look at us.
I just
Did
know
a
it.
costume change just for you, and
We appreciate that.
This is the only national showing of that shirt.
It is.
I know everybody. You can get a shirt like this if you really want. I'm sure, right? You have to.
We'd have to place another order. Charlie gave them all away.
We don't.
Oh, that's funny. That's okay. I
We
like
might
mine.
make some money if we sell them. We
Yeah,
don't want
we
to
would
make
not
any
do
money.
that.
Good Lord.
Oh gosh, no. Okay, well.
Money.
So, you said you're really hot over there. I'm wondering if the fireworks are helping at all.
Yes, it does. It does.
Good. That's good to know. And glad you're both well and glad to have you back.
Glad to
And
be back and
I
well.
know I've asked this before, but since we have different audiences every time, I want to ask Libby first about the instrument that she's playing. So, Libby, could you tell us about it?
This is an electronic auto harp. It's put out by Suzuki. It's called a Q chord. And it's a little bit on the fritz. I've had a little trouble with my strum plate, so it may have been a little fuzzy there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm going to have to send it back to Japan to get it fixed or whether I'm just going to buy a new one.
Oh no, oh no. Well, it sounded good to me. As a matter of fact, it sounded really kind of angelic. It sounded like it complements the guitar just perfectly, smooths out the edges without overpowering and just adds.
We've kind of worked out a system there. Originally, I'd purchased it to relieve myself of the presence of guitar players, but it's not worked out that way.
But no, you smooth out the edges and complement it very, very well. So that's why you got it. I was gonna say, like, how'd you come up with that? Most people don't play it.
Well, we have a friend who entertains mostly children, and she had one of these, and she was just able to do all kinds of things, and it was just her and her cue chord. And I thought, that's the thing to do.
That's amazing. My mom used to have one of those, I think it was a zither
Yeah.
that she played in her classroom, and you could just push on the chord number and then play the strings. Yeah, it's a good teacher thing for sure.
Well, that shirt really pops on the screen. I'm
I
telling you.
know you
Very
designed it
powerful.
just perfectly. So, okay, thank you, Libby. Thank you for going through that again, because maybe there's more curious people. So it's really interesting that your first song was a song about struggles writing a song, right?
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, does that happen to you a lot? Are you prolific? Do you get writer's block? Does it just come all the time? How does that work for you?
Normally, we're in the last say 6 years, this guy that we knew said he was going to start trying to write a song a week. So I said, well, I'll try that too. And with the help of the guy from Macomb I talked about earlier, Jeff Pufflin, we've been the last 5 years been averaging about 80 a year.
Okay, so that's not writer's block.
No.
Yeah.
And then
he's trying to keep up with his age because
with-
he will be 83 at the end
Yeah.
of the month.
yeah, so we're lucky we have places just like yours where we don't have to go and get out and drag stuff in and out, and we can sit here and
Yeah.
I don't even have pants on. And just kidding.
You're not Porky Pigging it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and it's really nice. It's
No, but
nice.
it is a lot easier because his travel and the setup and all that stuff is kind of limited these days.
Right, but in terms of writing the song, so you wrote about how hard it was to write the song,
No,
and then you had to drink some alcohol and take some drugs to do it. I mean, does that really help, or
I
or
just make it up.
oh, you made that up? Okay, I was just wondering because I haven't written a song in a long time, and I thought maybe I should try that. If it really
might-
does work.
It might work for some folks. I don't know. Well, Willie's done pretty good with that. I don't know. So,
Okay, that's
But
great.
I will have to be very careful what I say because I can walk through the house and make a comment on about where I'm going, what I'm going to be doing. I come back, there's a song about it sometimes.
Oh wow, wow.
that's the hardest thing about writing a song is getting a good idea. That's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
got that
Mm-hmm.
idea.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Well,
that's cool. I was just curious. And now you're co-write. So I know you've co-written with this man for a long time.
Yes, it has. It's been
Several
at least
years.
5 or 6 years.
Do you actually not even know him?
Right. No.
we have mutual friends.
Facebook.
And he've seen him on Facebook, but
talk-
never spoken, never met in person.
We talk on Facebook all the time, back and
But
forth.
you both just like it that way better? You don't want to meet in person? It will jinx it or what?
Space and time continuum, or whatever you call it. I'm afraid it would it'd be something negative. I don't know. I just
Got it. Got it. Now, let's say he sends you lyrics. So now you're writing music, but you're going, these lyrics aren't exactly,
and
maybe can he accommodate his lyrics to
No,
face.
he gives me the freedom to do any changes I want to make.
Yeah.
He never complains,
He's very agreeable.
Yeah. So I've changed some of them a whole lot, and then there's a few that I've hardly changed any. He writes on a ta-da rhythm in his words when he writes.
Very adaptable to
Yeah,
music.
so it's easier to get a tune to it usually.
And then, but you can switch them around to.
Yeah.
And if you have a different tune in mind that might need an extra word or syllable,
Oh
you
yeah,
can do that.
no problem, no problem.
Wow. And then, do you record the songs and send it to him?
Well, he sees it seen it on Facebook. It'll be on Facebook, and a lot of these, not these, but we've got about 5 or 6 albums on. You can see them on YouTube. Full of original songs, and a lot of them are some of his. So he hears them. I'll send him a CD when I get it made, and he hears them.
That's such an interesting arrangement.
It is. I understand how people don't believe it sometimes. I've never met him. Never laid
No,
eyes.
I believe it. It's just, different things work different ways. It's probably just magical the way it is. So why would you change it, right?
Don't destroy the magic.
Right. Oh, look at my hand got raised because I did that. Never mind.
What does that mean?
I made a gesture and there we go.
He was funny about that.
You're not supposed to do that?
Well, it thinks you want attention.
You put on some kind of Zoom probation now, are you?
Yeah, I can do a lot of damage by moving my hands around too much. So thank you both. It's such a delight to have you again on the show and to hear all your new creations and see your faces.
Well, you, Joy, Capo, Dave, with Joy Rich. We keep up with Rich with his crazy wombats, whatever they call it.
Yeah, the wombats. Yeah, right. Okay, well, take care. And I'm going to hand the show to Laura. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Daphna. And thank you, Charlie and Libby. Wonderful to hear you guys play. As always, it's always beautiful. I have a bumper sticker of the Hewitt family band, but it's outside. So all right. And we're going to take it to performer number 3. We are now going to Amherst, Massachusetts, I hope. And this is Rigo Rodriguez, who plays at the Luthiers Co-op, Workshop 13, and the Peterson Jam. But tonight we get him here at Open Mic America. So Rigo, the stage is yours.
It's great to join you all again. Thanks for having me. And it's especially great to be in the company of so many fantastic songwriters and musicians. I'm going to do a couple of original songs. These two, my experiences of parenting inspired. The first song I'll do is called The Fiercest Kind of Love. And this is, in fact, the first time that I'm performing this. It's one of my newer songs. We'll see how it goes. In the first life I found you, the times we spoke were few. In the shadows of fig trees, your brown eyes and the Nile's breeze, we defied the law of the land, but someone saw us holding hands, and that night they whisked us away to keep things safe. Your eyes were Barcelona blue. The second time I found you, you mended the fishing net I tore. The Vatican was waging war. We did what we knew was right, but some might is too much to fight. And for what we decided to take, love became ashes at the stake. Scorched desert sand to tundra land, without regard to consequence, we'll meet atop the tallest fence, as we were meant to be together. We met in the Tsar's fields of hay, and now your eyes were storm cloud gray. This third time we didn't tell a soul. The night we fled was bitter cold, and we never learned how. But they found us out in Moscow, and of course we tried and tried, but Siberia was where we died. Hazel eyes this time around, it ain't perfect, but we found stable ground, a house of love and laughter, in a town without too much chatter. But someone asked my boy the other day, "What are you?" He didn't know what to say. I told him, "Son, you're the essence of the fiercest kind of love, the fiercest kind of love." Scorched desert sand to tundra land, without regard to consequence, we'll meet atop the tallest fence, 'cause we were meant to be together. We were meant to be together.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Oh, my goodness.
Gives me chills.
Thanks, folks. The other song I'm going to do is it's called "Just to See You Smile." I've been performing this for a while, but I've never brought it here, so I thought I would. This came to me one night when my firstborn son was about a year old. Little one looking up at me, your eyes are just learning to see, and I hold your life in my two hands, your life in my hands. Little one, I promise this to you, I'll fight to make your dreams come true, and I will do anything I can. I will do anything I can. I wanna live forever, just to see you smile. There's nothing I wouldn't suffer, just to see you smile, see you smile. Oh, just to see you smile. Someday you won't need me at all. You'll pick yourself up when you fall, but I'll always be there for you, anytime and anywhere. I know that you will find your way, and I know that I must die someday. But if you'd like to talk, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and I'll be there. I wanna live forever, just to see you smile. There's nothing I wouldn't suffer, just to see you smile, to see you smile. Oh, just to see you smile.
Oh, wow.
That's so sweet.
Thank you, folks.
Those were such sweet songs. I hate to say this next part, but Daphne, get him!
Oh gosh, I better go gentle on this guy here. Oof. Um, Rigo, those were just beautiful. Um, how old is your son now?
The second song was written about, he's about to turn 8.
8. Wow, well, I have 3 sons, and the oldest is 39. And I gotta tell you that I still feel the exact same way.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you just nailed it right there, you know. I just said, "Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes." The whole song, it was just so beautiful and moving. Have you shared that song with him?
He he likes my band's music more than he likes my solo stuff.
He probably wouldn't like the die part either.
Yeah.
He's a little too young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he heard that. I didn't say this part. He was present for the writing of the song. We used to have one of those little I forget what it's called now, but a rocker thing that you could set your kid in and then you can rock it with your foot.
Yeah, my
I would
grandchild has
I
that.
would
Yeah.
I would write music while I was rocking him and he was sleeping, and I wrote this song while he was sleeping in this thing right in front of me. And he heard it a few times when he was younger, but yeah, the line about dying, yeah, it's a hard sentiment to to digest when you're that young.
Yeah, especially thinking about your parents. That's not a very good
Right.
idea. Wow. So you probably your songs, your music is probably imprinted in his brain, whether he likes it or not, and it'll be there forever. So, the second song, the first song, um, I just loved it, and I loved the story, but I'm asking myself, are these like reincarnations of the same person?
Yeah, the same people. That was the idea, was that a
Mm-hmm.
couple were denied the right to be together and then in the end get the experience.
The fact that you gave it a happy ending, quote unquote, was really satisfying. And it was beautiful how you described all the different scenes. So, did you read a story about that, or did it just pop into your head?
You know, when I don't share anything with people until it's had some time to marinate. So I wrote that song,
Mhm.
and I wasn't sure. I mean, I know where it came from my personal experiences, but I didn't know if there was a some inspiration that was, in my unconscious bubbling up. When I came back to it after a few weeks, leaving it alone to try to revise it, I started to wonder if it had in fact had something to do with Cloud Atlas. It's a monumental and amazing work of fiction that became a movie, I don't know, maybe a decade ago. Uh, I didn't intend to reference that, but there's in that movie, which is about different forms of oppression through over about a 400-year period. There's a couple of relationships where people, their souls kind of reemerge and have different experiences trying to be together. And I wondered if that was maybe, again, my unconscious feeding that to me. But if that's where it came from, it wasn't intentional. But
Well, even
uh,
if it is where it came from, it doesn't invalid. It's beautiful. It's just another art
thank you.
form expressing a similar idea. And I liked, to me, it seemed like love in the end conquers all. That's what it
Yeah, that's
felt
one
like.
of my themes
Oh, really?
in
Okay.
my
Well,
art. Yeah, it's
you
love wins
expressed
in the
it.
end. Love wins in the end is
You
my,
ex
yeah.
you expressed it perfectly then. It came through exactly right. So, I see you have a lot of instruments in that room. Do you play them all?
I do.
Wow. And you mentioned a band. So, what's the band and what do you
Yeah,
play?
the band has been on Open Mic America before as a group. It's called Black Door 74. And if folks are interested, blackdoor74band.com is the website. We all have various artistic projects going on. I'm a writer, a visual artist, and musician. And so I've got my stuff. And then Rod King is a musician and a philosopher. And Greg Frost Arnold is a musician, among other things. And we collaborate and then also do separate stuff.
You have a very busy creative life, don't you?
Yeah, it's what I do full time. So yeah, other than parenting, it's my second priority.
Is your son musical?
Yeah, they both are. They have ukuleles, guitars. They play with my keyboards. We've got, I've got everything in the house. We've violin, MIDI controllers, whatever they want to mess with. But yeah, they've recently gotten very much in. I try to give them a wide musical education. This past couple weeks, they've been listening to Beethoven, the Sugar Hill Gang, and Dolly Parton. Those are the three they've been into. So
That's perfect. I work with young children in music education, and parents always say, "Is it time to teach an instrument?" I'm going, "No, it's time for them to listen to music of all genres."
right.
That's what it's time to do, and don't stop. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun, and we go roller skating the family, and we the roller rink we go to, you can request stuff, and the DJ, I think he's been kind of perplexed at my kids' musical taste, because it's just all over the place. They'll request a Johnny Cash song, and then they'll request a contemporary hip hop song, and I think he's like a little tickled at especially because one of my kids is just 4, and he's like asking for stuff that the DJ's never heard of. So I feel proud in those moments.
Wow, that's wonderful. And thank you for sharing your music with us, both as a solo performer and with your band. So come back again.
Yeah, and thanks for all that you do to keep this thing going, Daphne.
Oh.
And great to be back.
Yeah, take care. All right, Laura, who's next?
Who's next? We've got performer number 4, and he looks like he's already at his mic with his guitar. This is Tom Cooney from Pennsburg, Pennsylvania. His favorite open mics, he gave me a list. He's got Open Mic America, of course, the Music Matters Showcase, and the Philadelphia Area Songwriters Alliance, also known as the Philadelphia Folk Song Society. It's a combined open mic, and that's where Tom actually co-hosts. So, Tom, you know what it's like to be on both sides of this adventure, but are you ready for the performing side?
I sure am.
All right, it's all yours.
Thanks for welcoming me, and it's good to be back here always. And everyone sounds really good. Rigo, really nice stuff, and I love the references about your children and what they like to listen to. My daughter, when she was 5, her favorite artist was Tony Bennett. So it all goes around. So speaking of going around, this is a song I wrote in 2018 called "Everything Changes." Wind carves the stone, the river shapes the land. Everything comes back home when it understands. Then oceans turn to dust, mountains rise and fall. Forever comes around again, can't you hear it call? Everything changes, it's done and undone. Everything changes, it's all new under the sun. The endless circle of life and love, it's rolling through the ages, flowing within and above, and everything changes. Everything changes. Oh, the center falls to place, then it cannot hold. Science will rule the day till the first stone is thrown. Then madness will parade till wisdom burns it down. Love will only be the way when justice is found. And everything changes, it's done and undone. Everything changes, it's all new under the sun. endless circle of life and love, well, it's rolling through the ages, flowing within and above, and everything changes. Everything changes. The fates, they take the pen to make the world again. Friends become lovers, lovers become friends, and nobody knows tomorrow, not the fools and not the sages. So bring me the joy and sorrow, and help me turn the pages. Come on, help me turn the pages. Everything changes, it's done and undone. Everything changes, it's all new under the sun. And the circle of life and love, it's rolling through the ages, flowing within and above. Oh, everything changes. Everything changes. Everything changes.
Like that. Like that.
Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. That song is, we all have different songs that we play. That song's like riding a bucking bronco to me. I play it about twice a year. And it's just so much fun to hop on top of that one and try to hold on to the reins. It's a neat one. This song is something I wrote last month. And this is the first time I'm playing it. And I figured it's ready enough. I'm trying to polish it, and I think it's okay. It's called What the River Knows. What the river knows is carved in vein of stone. What the stone reveals, the wind carries out to sea. What the wild seas hold, ascend into the heavens, and what the heavens bestow fills the rivers again and again. It goes round and round, the end is the beginning. It will humble and astound when you surrender to the giving. When you surrender to. What the hand embraces is what the mind has conceived. And what the mind is chasing is what the heart believes. And what this moment offers will let us heal and grow. Love and redemption is what the river knows. It goes round and round, the ending, the beginning. It will humble and astound when you surrender to the giving. It goes around and round, the ending, the beginning. It will humble and astound when you surrender to the giving. When you surrender to. When you surrender to.
Oh, so beautiful.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
All right, Tom, you've been a co-host, you've been a performer. Have you ever been an interviewer?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, well then you're ready. Daphne, get him.
I was humorously just thinking of Woody Allen's scene from Bananas where he's cross-examining himself in the stand as an attorney. So that's just, I'd rather have you do it, Daphne.
Oh, that's good. You don't want to ask yourself the questions. Oh, in the movie Superman, which I just saw,
Oh,
Kent Clark, who works for the paper, interviewed himself as Superman for a while. That was a part of the movie. But anyway, back to the music. So thank you so much, Tom. Number one, for just being on the show and playing these songs, and for being on the show before, and for also being a host. That's very much appreciated.
thank you.
I noticed that both of your songs had nature images that kind of set them up. Is that something that runs through a lot of your songs, or it's just a coincidence this time?
It is when I look for objects or look to make things concrete. It's often nature, or sometimes it's objects in a very small setting, like what you might see in someone's living room, like on a mantle above a fireplace. There can be so many memories and beautiful things on a mantle. So you can identify objects at the small level too. So it's kind of neat, a lot of fun.
So you use the objects or the nature to focus on whatever idea it is that you're trying to convey and
Yeah, I would say that. I know you kind of asked Andy the same question,
I did.
and Andy had the artistic answer. Was the leading one most of the time.
Mhm.
For me, it's the conceptual one or the emotional one, and the music is driven out from thinking and feeling, and then a song comes later.
That's so cool. So, about your first song, Everything Changes. I mean, especially now, we're going through so much change. But you wrote that in 2019, you said?
Is 2018.
Oh, 18. Well, there was a lot of change going on back then.
There certainly was.
Also.
There
Uh,
certainly was.
and you're right, it's a constant. But what I found really interesting and striking is that the song is about just this is how the world works. There's change, that's just the way it is. But in the end, it seems like you're welcoming the change and inviting the change. So,
Very much, but part of the societal destruction that was going on was mapping to a lot of one of the themes I follow internally, emotionally, and philosophically is change and cycling, and the concept of destruction is just part of change, and it helps me to understand that, and it seems to help acceptance of change happen better when I realize that this is the way it is. Try to influence the cycle as positively as you can, of course, but it's going to change. It's going to change quickly and more quickly.
that's wise. So when you write the songs, do you write something about an already fully formulated idea or feeling, or is the act of writing bring you to these conclusions?
My process, of course, many songs come many different ways. The majority of my songs come from the long-term baking of some emotional or world insight, something deeply personal or something largely societal that I'm seeing or feeling, and I bake it for a long time. And I work on a song's baking and thinking and feeling for months before I pick up a pen. And then when I know emotionally how honest the song needs to be and what its perspective should be, then I'll pick up the pen and chase the words. Yeah,
I see. Wow, it's so interesting how everyone's process and is
it is.
different,
Yeah,
and not just a technical process, but it's an emotional process.
yeah.
So I have two more questions. One is about your guitar, and one is about what we could start with that one, and then I could ask the other one. So I
Sure.
see it has a lot of little holes in one place, but no holes where we would expect them to
True.
be. What's
This is made by the Canadian manufacturer Godin, Godin. They're a
uh,
fantastic guitar maker. A lot of folks are familiar with them. They make general acoustics, but what they're known for are their hollow guitars like this, with built-in one or two chambers inside, very bright spruce on top. This particular one is a nylon model, so I can play jazz or bossa nova or some blues or some gypsy jazz, and it's crisp enough because of the spruce. I can play folk on it too. I wasn't even using a pick tonight. This is how bright this guitar is. So, but they're a wonderful manufacturer, and when I'm not picking up a regular acoustic guitar, this is my guitar of choice. It's where my voice seems to pass through.
Mhm. That this did sound very beautiful, and that brings me to my next question. The last one is about jazz. I mean, do you play a lot of jazz? Because it was very jazzy, your last song.
Thank you. I studied music as a minor in college and
Hmm.
studied jazz guitar for a number of years. And I have always played jazz and blues, much less so the last few decades. Mostly it's a style influence for me. I'll be writing songs in the American songbook style or a jazz blues combination, or bossa nova or something. It's what I've heard since I was a young person. It's infused in my experience of music, and I, like a lot of the performers here, listen to a lot of things, different kinds of music. But it's always been there, and I still, when I play publicly, when I'm doing more than originals, I will play a lot of jazz standards out of the American Songbook because I love to sing them. They're beautiful songs, as you know. They're just gorgeous, and yeah.
Yeah, it does come through in your playing and in that last song of yours in general.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us again.
Thank you. Good to see everybody.
Yes. All right, Laura, back to work.
Oh, back to work already? I don't know if it's quite time to work because I think it's the mid-show break. We've gotten through 4 of our 8 performers. Anybody who's been sitting and watching, go get yourself a refill on the drink, or don't, because we're going to talk to you about a free guitar. A free guitar? That's right. Everyone who is on the show right now, performers and volunteer hosts alike, we get a ticket in the fishbowl held by our lovely Capo Dave. It's for the annual drawing for one of Capo Dave's Dandy hybrid guitars. What is a dandy? What makes it a hybrid? It's like a good arch top guitar got married to a D28. Their kid would sing like a dandy. And I think Capo Dave can talk a little bit more about the intricacies and the beauty that is this little guitar that he's whipped up.
Thank you, Laura. Am I being heard?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, the next drawing is December the 14th. I'll be giving away one of the latest dandies. And the latest dandies are, I've been building these 000 shape with the normal quote unquote bridge for the guitar. But the thing that makes a dandy guitar a hybrid, we say, used to say, splitting the difference between an arch top and a dreadnought. There are 3 things that really set this apart from flat top guitars. Number 1 is the top of this guitar is in an arc that's a 16-foot radius, where flat top guitars are between 30 and 40-foot radius. So the arc of this, it's a dome actually, is double what a flat top guitar is. That gives it a lot of juice. The other thing is the fingerboard floats. So when you think of it, if you don't have that thing attached to the body of the guitar, the body gets more of a chance to produce sound. That's pretty much a given. And the old way of building the guitars with the dovetail joint and the attached neck seems to be going away. Collings, Martin, and Taylor now all have bolt-on necks, but they're mysteriously still attaching the fingerboard. So they're losing a lot of the benefit of the bolt-on neck. Anyway, that's that. So I've built 5 of these, and 2 of them are now with their new owners, and they seem to like them pretty well. And one little other thing I'll share with you, I'm pretty excited about this in Dandy News. This is the beginning of number 40. I'm building this guitar purposely for a small person or a child. I cut the first fret off the normal Martin fingerboard, so all the frets are more compressed now, and the strings are going to be closer together. And so many times I've seen, a child will be trying to learn to play the guitar, or a lady or a fellow with very small hands, and they're at a serious disadvantage when you see some of these dudes with hands like spiders, spanning 5 frets. So I said, time to build a guitar that gives an edge back to a person with small hands. And there are a lot of people with small hands. So this is in the works. It's number 40, and it's mahogany. It's ought to have a pretty good sound. It's going to be that same 000 shape. So really, that's all I have. Little news on the guitars, and December 14th, the drawing. Everybody on the show gets a ticket in, including the interviewers, and so they get a double opportunity to win a guitar. And that's all I have for right now. So I'll hand it back to Laura. I say I'll hand it back to Laura.
Thank you so much, Dave.
I'm the guy
really
that
exciting
was
to
supposed
see
to be doing the handing,
oh,
and I
yeah,
forgot about it. Okay.
Looks like she froze.
Well, that was a
She
lovely
froze.
little break.
Where's
getting to
Laura? We
hear
don't see
about
Laura.
She's frozen.
guitar. Oh no, am I frozen?
There she is. She's
Daphne,
back.
go.
She thawed out. She thawed out. That's good. Okay, you're good
Daphne,
now.
go.
You're
Am I
fine.
back?
Yes, you're back.
Oh, whew. All right, I'm back. I'm back. See, I just needed a little bit of a break. I had to run away, come back. But now we're back, and I think our next performer is ready, looking very, very mysterious with the black and white. We're going to introduce Gillis Mills from Grafton, Vermont. Gillis, are you ready? All right, he's getting all set. Oh, you are on mute.
We can unmute him.
There we go.
Can you hear me okay? This first
Yes, we
tune is my ode to the open road. It's called Blacktop Boogie. When I'm feeling beat up, beat down and blue, there's just one thing I wanna do. It's a blacktop boogie, the blacktop boogie. Blacktop boogie will blow them blues away. Well, I've been working for 8 days straight. Put on your flash pan, Susie, and don't make me wait to do the blacktop boogie. The blacktop boogie. Blacktop boogie will blow them blues away. When life gets heavy, that's okay. You just roll with the punches and you get away. Doing the blacktop boogie. The blacktop boogie. Blacktop boogie will blow them blues away. Well, I've got a good engine, it's singing to me. It sings, head out on the road, it's where you wanna be. Doing the blacktop boogie. The blacktop boogie. Blacktop boogie will blow them blues away.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So this next song is is about four pretty intense life experiences that I've had earlier in my life. 3 of the 4 anyway, and it's called Little Isle. I'll have to retune for it, but.
Oh, that was so fun. I was grooving in my seat the whole time.
Me too. Those are a little aggressive songs compared to what I normally do. You know.
Are you feeling particularly aggressive?
No, I like to vary them. You know, I'm using my solid body guitar as well instead of the acoustic. So it's and it's this guitar likes to raise hell, and in my youth I'm lucky to be alive actually from all the hell raising that I and my buddies did, you know, and the songs that I write tend to be drawn from my actual life. So anyway, as I've gotten older though, I've gotten more mellow. I'm not doing what I used to do. I haven't, in fact, I haven't done it for decades. But it's been a really interesting life. I wouldn't want it any different actually, because I've grown up in Texas and so forth. I mean, you know, spent a lot of time in New York City, so it's nice.
So
Not
singing
bad.
about it is the next best thing, huh?
Well, it's just nice to have had all the experiences. You know, it's a lot to and when it comes to writing, although I haven't been writing much lately, I've got a head full of experiences, and I typically write off of my literal experiences.
Mhm.
So
Unlike some of the other people who talk to us who tend to observe other people and
Yeah. Well,
imagine their
I enjoy
stories.
that too. The city, New York's a great place for that.
Oh, I
But
bet.
I have so much. There's so much more than than I will ever write about that I have lived. You know that.
Hmm.
So it's not a. It's what I enjoy doing. You know. So.
That's wonderful. So I have a few questions to ask, even
Yep.
though we've talked many times before, but
Yeah.
not everybody has seen you before. So first of all, I'm just really curious, what is that big object in front of you? I'm
That's
sure
a
it's
that's a that's a stove. It's a
oh,
wood. I use it to burn wood. I'm in my studio, and the studio is it's heated with wood. We
mm-hmm,
have wood. We have 4 wood stoves here at the house actually, and we burn wood. And for primary heat, although we do have a furnace, but I never use it. It's just like for an emergency. But my wife Lisa and I both enjoy wood. The whole process. It's an aesthetic thing, and it smells good and it's fun. It's a lot of exercise, you know, throwing wood around. I've got the wood shed full of it's got 6 cords of wood in it right now. So we're ready for winter. That it seasons over this summer, but so that's what we do.
oh,
Oh, oh,
there I am. Okay,
yay!
just like
Okay.
Laura, the host of the show,
All
are now
right.
playing. We're playing new tricks called,
Yeah, there's a
disappear
little
and
strip of just portions of images on the top. Are you aware of
that's
that?
okay. Yes,
Oh,
because
okay,
we're
okay.
spotlighted now.
Oh, okay.
I heard every word you said. I just couldn't really react. So that is interesting. But let's get back to the music.
Yeah.
Who is your biggest influence? Is there any one name or is it
No,
style?
not really. I just I as others have said, I enjoy all kinds of music, but the music that I draw the most inspiration from is is the early root blues music that people here in the country, you know, did usually in the South did.
Hmm.
Um, and the guys that I've listened to maybe more than anyone else is John Lee Hooker and Lightning Hopkins. I'm looking up at some in my studio. I have a display of old LP albums, and I'm looking at 2 of my oldest albums. One
Hmm.
is a John Lee Hooker album, and the other's Lightning. But I've got a lot of their music, a
Hmm.
lot of Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters,
Hmm.
and so forth. You know, but I really I like I the early Dylan work, his early writing, and also the way he rendered he was so unusual. You know, it was easy to think of like, can he really sing? Well, yes, he could really. He articulated the meanings and feelings in his lyrics so well. You know, um, and he was from I think the mid Minnesota or someplace. I'm not really sure where, but he was. I was really impressed with a lot of his early writing.
Hmm.
But but anyway, you know that I don't have any one person. I don't try to. I've never tried to emulate anyone. The first song I learned from a really good blues guy in New York City was Bobby Radcliffe is his name. I took a few, maybe 5 lessons from him. But the first song that he wanted me to learn, which I did, in a primitive way, was "Still a Fool," which is a song that McKinley Morganfield or Muddy Waters wrote. He was not really much of a writer. Willie Dixon did most of his writing for him, or he became most of the songs that he made famous were Willie Dixon songs. But this song he wrote, and it was a great song for Bobby to give me because it was so varied. You know, it had so many different layers and stuff. But I don't. I've never done it out anywhere. You know, as soon as I could, I began doing my own stuff, and it's not really derivative of anything other than feelings. I just kind of make up I try to make, and I've said this before at least twice on Open Mic America, I've tried to make the songs, the music relevant to the ideas in the songs themselves, the lyrics, that's what I let drive the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I typically I always strive to do that,
Mm-hmm. And you do it so well. So
Well,
just
I try. I'm a student of it. It's really hard for me. I don't consider it's fun, but it's also hard work to do stuff that I haven't, it's honest to, I'm trying to get things across that I think are worth getting across, and hopefully they're interesting. They're not too abrasive or too. These songs, particularly the second one, is much wilder than any. It's the most irreverent song that I've ever done, at least to date. I don't have anything else in my experience to draw from that's any wilder than that. Yeah, than those images. They were real, and it was all at that when I was 12, when I was 15, so, and so forth. My anyway, my first wife, which is who we ran away when we were really kids, and because we thought we could take over the world. We thought we were very headstrong and lucky and tough. I mean, we were pretty resilient. we were able to make our way, in life, but she passed away some years ago. But anyway.
Well, thank you for sharing not only the songs, but all that insight and story with us. And come back again. I know you always do, and we look forward to it.
Okay, thank you, Daphne. It's nice seeing you. It's good seeing the Hewitt family too. I miss them.
Yes.
It's
yes.
nice seeing them again and hearing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Daphne. And thank you, Gillis. It's wonderful to have how much music connects us all throughout the country, even with something as, like Open Mic America, where a lot of us haven't met each other in person. We only know each other through these little boxes, and yet here we are. Yeah. And we've got another person coming to you from his own little box. He was a bit of a surprise to him that he was performing tonight, but he's ready to go, and we know he's gonna show us proud. It is the elder singer, aka Steve Anderson, coming at you from Alameda, California, and who sometimes performs at Gilman Brewing in Berkeley Campbell Theater in Martinez.
Well, hello everyone. This is great fun. I thought I was going to be an interviewer tonight, and I showed up, and that seat was taken. And I'm famous for not having a memory, as those of you who have seen me before. I rely heavily on I guess it's called a tablet. I call it what do I call it? I can't remember. Like I told you, I have no memory. But anyway, all the words are here, and I'll have to follow them. I'm beginning with a song that is ostensibly about a girl, but it's really an allegory about people that I have encountered in my life and had a chance to spend a little time with and learn from and learn to love, and that have been, they've kind of shaped over the years, one by one, who I am and what I'm all about. And yeah, it's just pretend it's about the girl. It's much easier. Oh, and I'm losing here we go. Sometimes it wants to fade away because I haven't been nice to it. There's a road I used to travel on with the girl I used to know. A route we like to take where no one else might care to go. We met quite accidentally, seemed to hit it off. Conversations came to life, we couldn't get enough. We spoke of many things, of hopes and dreams and shared a lot of secrets, shed a lot of tears. Neither one of us was free or inclined to go astray, so we never got connected in that carnal sort of way. But love can be a lot of things, and for us it was indeed. We had so much to talk about, we weren't inclined to breathe. But we were also very intimate in a different sort of way. Time I spent alone with her always made my day. Commitment and geography would end our wild affair. I'd love to spend more time with her, but she just isn't there. The things we learned together helped me to get on with my wife. Proved to be a secret to a long and happy life. In retrospect, I owe her for my long and my happy life.
Yay, Steve.
And now for something completely different. A lot of what I write has to do with the highway, traveling the road. I suffer from wanderlust, and that has come out in a lot of the things that I've written. And this isn't exactly about going anywhere, but it has to do with being on the road and liking it. It's called Pure Dumb Luck. Got money in the bank, gas in the tank. Pure dumb luck's all I got to think. I'm cruising down the road with my sweetie by my side. Later on I'm hoping she'll be taking me for a ride. Well, it's a wonderful world, a wonderful place. I'm headed down the road at a wonderful pace till the highway patrolman stopped me for a chat. Says going too damn fast ain't where it's at. Well, the car ain't much, but it's got the gears. Monthly payments are in arrears, and the license plate expired last July. I might have just got a warning if I hadn't been so high. Little bit of weed, a little bit of speed, a little bit more than you really need, and a whole lot more than the law says is okay. Well, it took me downtown where they promised I could stay. Now the judge had a book, threw it at me. His attitude was a mystery, but he paid my room and board for 30 days. But even doing time would change my ways. Well, they turned me loose, set me free, heading down the roads where I'd like to be. But the car got repossessed and now I'm stuck. It's a brand new chapter about my pure dumb luck. And you can get a first edition for just $1. Truth be told, the just don't give. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a miserable day.
I'll never get tired of those turns of phrase. Never. Right, interviewer to interviewer. Go.
Yeah, I get to interview you. You thought you got to interview everybody, but you don't. You have to sign up for another day. We need you. It's really cool that just at last minute, with hardly any warning at all, you could just pull you could pull 2 songs out of your head and perform them that wonderfully. That is really wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So Steve, I just gotta tell you, what I love about your music is it's funny and it's mixed with a gentle wisdom and humility. And it's all like wrapped up to make us feel like you are as human as anybody who is listening, and that like you know all about that. And isn't that interesting? And you pointed out to all of us, and that's so much fun. So much fun. Your little zippity doo-dah trick in the end was very clever, I've got to say.
Well, so many comedians try and get a laugh by using the F word, and I thought it's funnier if you skip it.
I'm with you.
Everybody knows what it is.
Right. And I'm maybe as a songwriter, maybe just as a good listener, I'm always trying to preempt, like just guess in my head what the rhyme is going to be, right? For a lot of lines, and when it's something I don't expect, I'm more delighted than when it's something I do expect. And yeah, that was good. So let's talk about guitar. Okay, your songwriting's awesome. I enjoyed the songs, but you're such a great guitar player. So first of all, who taught you?
Oh, well, I went to the University of Wisconsin back in the early '60s, and there was a guy there who was kind of the campus bum, and he played at a couple different coffee houses, and then washed dishes because he didn't have an income, and you don't get paid for playing the guitar, coffee house. So he was an interesting guy, and he was one hell of a guitar player, and he was also a big fan of Dave Van Ronk and a big fan of Mississippi John Hurt and that whole school of folk music. And he kind of mastered it, and I learned a lot from him, and that stuck with me.
Wait, did he give you lessons, or you just watched him?
Oh, no, I don't learn from lessons. I'm not a good student. I've never been a good student. I play by ear, and I don't always get it the way I heard it. I have to change what I can do with it to make it happen, and that's kind of been how I've gotten through. I took a manual dexterity test once and flunked.
Oh, those tests aren't worthwhile. I could tell you that.
And I type about 11 words a minute, so I think maybe maybe there was some validity there. But I absolutely love playing.
There's a way.
Yeah, I absolutely love playing the guitar. So I slowly but surely I'm getting there. I hope someday to master it.
Oh my gosh, I love hearing you play the guitar. So do a lot of people. I know that. Now, speaking of guitar, I have a vague recollection of you telling us, either here or in some other setting, about your first guitar. And it was like, was it warped? Was it? And I think it would be so cool to hear that story here.
I was in the Navy and joined in 1959, and I was aboard ship in 1960, and they have what they call fan rooms, which are just things where they have big fans that blow air all over the ship, and they're not sealed against the outside. So when the ship takes rolls and things, the fan rooms fill up with water. And somebody left a guitar out there. And when I found it, it was an F-type archtop F-hole guitar, and it was shaped more like a cello than a guitar because it got all swelled up and just, and the strings at the 12th fret were about an inch high. But there it was, and I was out in the middle of the ocean with nothing to do. So I just started messing around with it, and before long, I had to go find a better guitar.
So that was your very first guitar that you actually played?
Yep,
That's what I thought. That's the greatest story.
yeah. And I've gone through a lot of them since then.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And what you
Well,
just heard is that's the last guitar I'm ever gonna buy. I like this thing so much. I bought a bunch of guitars and now they're all for sale.
isn't it called Steve Anderson or something like that?
Oh, that's a different one. Well,
Oh,
here.
okay, okay,
It just happens to be right here. I know Dave wanted to see this, but
okay.
if you look closely up here,
This is Anderson. That's
Steve Anderson.
your last
and the
name.
guy who built it is named Steve Anderson, and he spells it the same way. And it's it's an electric guitar, which is sort of not me, except I'm starting to like it.
Well, it's your
So,
namesake. Oh,
Yeah, it's a full life.
thank you. Thank you for that. I really wanted you to tell that story because I remember when you told it to us the first time somewhere. I was really taken with it. So thank you for sharing it again and your songs and for being willing to be the interviewer, even though you didn't get the job today.
Yeah, I did. I completely lost track of the fact that I had been signed up for performing. Like I
Well,
said, yeah, I'm famous for not having a memory.
all's
I'm
well
only
that ends
83 though,
well.
so.
Yeah, you're forgiven. All's well that ends well. And Laura, take it.
Thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Steve. It is so much fun to have all the people who are performing, and we've got a lot of them who are now performing and also helping with the hosting and the interviewing and the teching behind the scenes. And if any of you out there are interested in joining us at Open Mic America, just visit our website, openmicamerica.com. You can find ways to volunteer. You can find ways to put in an audition to be on the show. But for now, we've got someone who's already performed, already ready to be on the show. It's Cowboy Bob Uvello from Boston, Massachusetts. And he plays at the Brew House, Weymouth, Proof 22, Plymouth, the Songwriters in the Round shows, and various other random performances. You can find Bob in many places, but tonight you'll find him here. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. This is song called Blue Streak. It's actually the title track of my most recent album. I was part of a songwriting group for a week, and we were given a prompt, and I thought to myself, I don't do prompts. I write from the soul, from the heart. But I tried to be a good sport about it. The prompt was something you lost. And I thought to myself, great, song about my car keys, bound to be a hit. But I sat with the idea for a while, the whole idea of losing, and I came up with this. It was causing a blue streak. He was kicking at the air. He wore blue jeans and a red cap, sneakers, a worn out pair. I said, what is the matter? He said, what's it to you? What do you care anyway? I left my pack on that damn bus. I know it's gone to stay. If it's alright with you, well, I'll do this my way. He was too young to know, too young to be told. Living's mostly losing, living is letting go. Our living's letting go. You said you ever lose something that meant a whole lot to you, something that could not be replaced, no matter what you do. Well, the question hit me like a cold wind that blows dust into your eyes. I turned my face from that young kid, I'll tell you why. Grown men don't cry, you know grown men don't cry. He was too young to know, too young to be told. Living's mostly losing, living is letting go. Our living's letting go. Memories have sharp edges, cut you to the bone. Old friends run out of road, have left you more alone. And a sweet young angel, eyes bluer than blue. And the feel of a cold gun pressed into your back that introduced you to a brand new you. The kid was cussing in a blue streak, he was kicking at the air. He wore blue jeans and a red cap, sneakers, a worn out pair. I said, what is the matter? He said, what's it to you? What do you care? Anyway, I left my pack on that damn bus, I know it's gone to stay. If it's alright with you, well, I'll do this my way. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Guitar.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, it's this next song, you know, I almost wish we were in the midst of a really violent thunder and lightning storm just a little while ago, and it just would have been the best backdrop to this song. So I've got to tell you a little story about this. A few years ago, I was staying. I was at a lodge, an AMC lodge, and in the evening, sitting by the fire, got talking to a woman, and she mentioned that she was writing the history of her family. And I asked her, I said, well, is it interesting? Probably was a rude question, but is it interesting? And she told me this story, and to create a song out of it, I added a lot. But the really important points of the story are is someone else hearing that?
Steve needs to be muted.
Yeah, so the really important points of the story I kept, and maybe most importantly, the last line of the song is verbatim. I made her repeat it several times because I just, in the context of the story, the line was so stunning. The song is called it's called Summer Rain, and I don't mean to give assignments, but you have to listen very carefully if you're going to get the shocking part of the whole story. Bill and Mary married young, eloped into the foggy night. Their folks said it was right. They knew it was right. Settled on a small dirt farm, far from town and city lights. Bill worked hard and Mary too. Supper on the table every night. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish would just rain. Mary's dad gave her a gun, said you live so far from town. Now this old gun, it ain't never worked, still might stare somebody down. Mary had no use for guns, hid it straight away. Mountain in a sideboard drawer to make her father happy. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish would just rain. Years passed like summer storms, 8 kids born, grew and moved away. Bill was drinking hard, more distant every day, still Mary chose to stay. Now who can say what changes in a day? Mary woke, knew what she must do. That night over chicken, grits and gravy, Mary said, Bill, I'm leaving you. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish it would just rain. Bill seemed not to hear, then said, I won't allow it, what would I do? Stormed out and up the road to confide in neighbor Ruth. Hours passed, Mary grew concerned, rose to go to fetch Bill home. She looked up and Bill was there, Said, Mary, I love you, you can't go. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish it would just rain. Mary said, I love you, Bill, with each beat of my heart. Can't you see that staying here is tearing me apart? Bill walked to the sideboard, took out that old gun, put the barrel to his head, pulled the trigger once. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish it would just rain. Thunder followed lightning, then came summer rain, falling warm on Mary, the walls and window panes. Time stopped as Mary rocked, searching for an answer. Someone was knocking somewhere. Neighbor Ruth was standing there. Ruth stood there a long time, fussing with her hair. Finally spoke more to herself than Mary, saying, might the flies bed this year.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, and was that the thunder in the background that I just heard?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. Well, we're gonna learn some more about you in those awesome songs. But Daphne, it's up to you.
Oh, hi there, Bob. Thanks for singing for us and playing guitar, such heartfelt, mournful kind of tunes. Let me see. So there's lots of wisdom on the show today, isn't there? Like, everybody has something very, very wise from their experience to share in music. And your first song about letting go and losing was no different than that. I mean, you also brought a lot of wisdom to our show, and I appreciate that. Letting go versus losing, I kind of wonder about that, but I guess that's a philosophical and not a musical question, huh?
Well, after the losing happens, you hopefully can let go.
I see. So one has to precede the other. Otherwise, you're not going to want to let go. That makes a lot of sense. Before we get to the rest of the music, I had kind of a question about your hat.
It'll try to answer your question for you.
I hear laughing out there. Yes. I was trying to mute people, but then I realized that it's in your room. Yeah, giggling. So, do you have musical notes on your cowboy hat?
No.
What?
No,
That's what it looks like from here.
No, just a design, just a.
Oh, it looked like a staff with musical notes to me. I was curious about that.
Well, that's a great idea. That would be really clever.
Especially for a man who sings Cowboy Bob, right? I mean, that
Yeah, for sure.
Very clever. So when did you start writing?
When did I start writing? Boy, probably the first thing that I wrote that actually ended up being a song was probably around 18 years old, something like that. 20 years, 30 years ago.
What made you do it? What, like you just woke up one day and decided I'm going to write a song? I mean, how does that come about for a young person?
What happened was the great folk scare happened, and I wanted to be Bob Dylan, and I wanted to be Phil Oakes, and I wanted to be Gordon Lightfoot, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I fell in love with the music, and got my first guitar at 14 years old, and barely got out of high school as a result of that, because all I did was play guitar from that point on.
Did you play in bands?
No, I've always played, well, not always completely solo, maybe with one backup musician, but essentially always a solo act. And yeah, I just was consumed by it. I just fell in love with it.
Did you go to take lessons to learn how to play? That's my question du jour. If you noticed, I'm asking a lot of people this question.
No, rather than take lessons, I gave lessons. In Yiddish, it's called chutzpah, and so long as I was one page ahead in the book, I felt absolutely entitled to be teaching. And so, no, I've never taken lessons, and it shows. I mean, it shows in a lot of ways. You know, when you I guess when you're self-taught, you end up really nurturing all your bad habits.
I know a little bit about that. Yes. Yes. So did you used a book of songs that just like marked out the fingerings, or was it like a guitar learning book that you used? How did you do
Just, I mean, a book that had chords and just learned how to play the chords. The writing was on the wall early. The first chord I learned was a D minor. And on gray afternoons, I would sit and look out the window and just strum my D minor over and over again, which worried my parents to no end.
Speaking of Yiddish, that's the people's key, and for some other people, yes.
Okay. And yeah, so that was, and then cause I did music full time as a job along with teaching for about the next 15 or so years.
Wow.
And then decided if I was ever going to be able to buy a house or do any of those things that people do, I probably needed a little something else in terms of income.
Yeah, the old story. So speaking of the story, so did you ever send this lady the song that you wrote?
That is the greatest question, and it's been asked. You know, I haven't had the opportunity. I don't have much information on her, possibly enough to have tracked her down. No, I haven't, and I still would really love to, because it was just the most fascinating story to me. It's like there are so many layers to it. Like, was the father wrong about the gun? Did the gun actually work? Did the husband know that the gun didn't work and he was just doing this for dramatic effect? It's just, there are just so many questions there. And then the ending of the song, when the neighbor comes upon this horrible scene and just stands there for a long time looking at it, and the response, the last line of the song is verbatim from the story. My ain't the flies bad this year. And it's like, wow.
Wow.
That's noir. That's noir for sure.
Yes, no kidding. Well, thank you for sharing your pieces of art with us, and your stories and your wisdom and your music. And now we are going to send it back to Laura to,
Just, I just wanted to say quickly, thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this.
it's a pleasure.
It certainly has. It's been a pleasure all night, and it's going to keep being a pleasure because we've got one more performer for you. He's been waiting very patiently. They'll close out our show. It's the one and only Ric Page from Haverhill, Massachusetts. And he gave me a whole list. He does virtual open mics. He does live open mics. He does live open mics at the North Reading Community Coffee House, Muddy Waters, the Hen House, and Jay's Music Medicine. And he's also on other virtual mics like Open Mic America, like the Dun Cow Acoustic Club, UK, the Eagle's Nest Revisited, Apocalyptic Open Mic, Desert Southwest Open Mic, Music Matters, One Broadway Collective. Is there anywhere, or One Broadway Collaborative, is there anywhere you don't play, Rick? I feel like that'd be a shorter list.
You play as much and wherever you can, so I'm sure I could add to the list, but that was long enough. Thank you, Laura.
All right, well, the stage is yours.
Thank you. This first song is a song about teenage rebellion. Little backstory. Back in the day, my father bought a new family car and gave the old family car, which was a 1966 Buick LeSabre, to my brother and I to share, which we never had a problem with. But of course, all the neighborhood kids thought it was like an old lady's car. So they christened it the Putestria, which was Buick or Putrid Buick, whatever. So that was the name. The name of this song is called, and it's my homage to the Putestria. Putestria, rolling free. Summer nights in '69. Buick LeSabre, blue so bright. Front seat wider, blue so bright. Chasing the night, pocket change and borrowed time. $3 of gas, we felt divine. 4 up front, 6 in back, laughing loud on moonlit tracks. Putestria, running free. Windows down, the radio loud. Car full of friends, a roaring crowd. No plans made, no place to be. Just the road for us to see. Lunch we wrapped in steel and grace. A secret world, our sacred space. Live fast, had it all. Gas so cheap, no cares at all. Oh, Putestria, running free. Tail lights glow like fireflies. City lights in sleepy eyes. Time stood still, or so we swore. Wishing nights like those were more. Oh, Putestria, running free. Party on wheels, a sweet memory. Gas gauge that never went free. Bruising down my memory. Years have passed, the roads have changed, but I still hear your engine's name. Very young when I close my eyes, close my eyes. you. Okay, let's see. This next song is actually a love song that I wrote on Valentine's Day. Let me check the tuning. And the name of the song is called Valentine. Side by side, yet freely we roam, creating and crafting a world of our own. Your art takes shape, bold and true, while my work finds its rhythm too. No need for thrills or sweet cliches. We built our life in our own way. With every canvas, every page, our love's the constant, day by day. Together apart we honor the spark, a life of creation, both light and dark, not sappy, just real, a love that stays. You are my partner in all the ways. No need for frills or sweet cliches. We built our life in our own ways. With every canvas, every page, our love's the constant, day by day.
Oh, yes. Beautiful.
Wonderful. So nice.
Thank you.
Well, hello again, Rick. It's good
Hi,
to have
Daphne.
you back. How do you have time to sleep with all those open mics?
You can sleep when you take the dirt nap, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Or to compose, even. Wow. That's,
When you're retired, you have all day to do it.
oh, that's cool. So you just play music all day.
Yeah.
So what drives you to perform in general or that much?
Because I just love music. I love music, all kinds, any kind, every kind. And back before I had to have the 9 to 5, and back in the day, I just played music all the time. So I always said that once I retire, I'm going back to 17 and play music all day long and whenever it strikes me. And it's
That
wonderful.
that is wonderful. So many people retire and don't know what to do with themselves, and with you, that's not going to happen. That's for sure. So speaking of 17, so I mean, you wrote the song about the car, and I forgot
Pu-
Putestria.
Putestria, yes.
Putestria. You wrote that as an adult. I mean, is that recently, right?
Yeah, I
Or
wrote it about a month ago. Yeah.
so what made you think all of a sudden about that car so much as to write a song about it?
Well, I actually went to an old car show and
Mm-hmm.
they had one that was just like that and it just sparked the memories and I said, what good times we had with this and unfortunately a lot of the people I grew up with are no longer with us.
Oh.
So I wanted to capture memories of that in music while I still had a chance. And so I just took my memories and put it all out there for everyone.
So it honors not only the car and your brother, but all the other people that were involved in that. That's
Yes.
beautiful. That was really beautiful. Now,
Thank you.
about your playing, it's also really jazzy and complex. So here's my question du jour. Maybe you could call it my survey of the show. Did did you take formal guitar lessons? Did anybody here?
The short answer is no. The longer answer, I'll explain.
Uh-huh.
When we were kids, my brother had a guitar, and I did not, and he would not let me play it. Then he went to camp for 2 weeks, and I played the guitar night and day, and I just loved it. Well, he came back. We were learning a song because we were in a band back then, and he was having a hard time on something. I said, well, let me try that. And I picked it up and I played it. And he says, you played my guitar. He says, now you're going to play guitar and I'll play bass. So ever since then, I play guitar. So the answer to your question, I taught myself, and of course, like most people, I taught myself wrong. And then later on, I had to undo everything I learned and learn it the right way. I was lucky enough to work with some local guitar gods at the time who gave me tips here and there and said, you know, pick up a Mel Bay book and learn jazz chords and learn your scales, practice, practice. It's all about technique. You got 4 fingers, use all 4 fingers, if not more. And you could use thumb too. And so you just keep playing. So the short answer, as I said, was no. The longer answer was yes, indirectly.
Yes, well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Wow. So, you write really interesting rhythmic lines also, especially in your second song, kind of unexpected ways of putting the words into the melody, and it was very rhythmic. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Also, I noticed that you play the melody as you're singing it. So you could almost just stop singing and that song would stand alone as an instrumental melody and all.
It could. Not all my songs are like that, but that particular one is because it started. I actually, you know, I wrote it on Valentine's Day and I wrote the poem on Valentine's Day, but they didn't go together. And I was playing it as an instrumental, and then I said, well, why don't I try singing these with it? And I said, I already have melody, so there you go.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that worked really well. It worked really well. And I want to thank you for sitting still and being so well behaved until very late tonight.
No
You are
problem.
not even in the West Coast, so I know it's much later for you than it is for us, but there were so many interesting people to ask so many interesting questions of that. I guess, it just
No
took us a
problem.
while to get to you, but it was greatly rewarding that we did wait. So thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
yes. Oh, if I do that, you know what's going to happen.
I don't know.
I'll tell. Yes, something is going to happen. I'm pretty sure, but maybe not.
Why, is that a bad omen for you, or?
No, it's a good thing, but it's hard to always. Aha, here we go.
Yeah. Well, you need a dark background. Oh, wow, cool. Now that's cool. That's cool.
Yes, it is. Okay, well, I'm going to let Laura close out the show. Thank you for taking us home, Rick.
Oh, so much fun, Rick. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of our performers tonight. Go ahead and wave when I say your name. Thank you, Rigo. Thank you, Gillis. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Charlie and Libby. And thank you, Steve. It has been wonderful to have everybody perform tonight. And of course, thank you so much to the two other volunteers who are helping out tonight. Thank you, Capo Dave, for handling all of the technical things. Daphne, thank you for doing such wonderful interviews so we can get some insight into all of our wonderful performers. It's one thing to hear their amazing music. It's another thing to get to know them a little bit more. And to everybody who's watching out there in YouTube land, thank you. Remember, you can always check our website out. That's openmicamerica.com. We will have links to the music of all of our performers that you've seen tonight. Woo, as well as on other shows. You can also find archives of all of our past shows. And what's really exciting is we also have the local open mics tab on our website. So you can go there and you can find all the different open mics that have been mentioned on our shows throughout all the whole time that we've been doing this show. And you can find a local open mic nearby you so you can hear the amazing singer-songwriters that are probably right nearby you. And if you enjoyed the show, remember, don't keep it a secret. Go ahead and spread the word. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, get on social media and let them know that you liked us. Go to our green room section of the website to print out posters or to order a t-shirt, just like the one that Charlie has tonight. And then you can rep Open Mic America whenever you want. We are here for the first and third Sundays of every month. Our next show is going to be on August 3rd. So please stay tuned for the next full lineup. You can find that at, of course, our website, openmicamerica.com. And now we're going to send you all off for a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.